Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Confessions of a Desi Drama Queen.
Yay, yay.
We're your hosts, Sana and Amna. We're excited to be back with a Just Us episode because we haven't yet together in 6 days.
I know, but I was literally just saying right before this started, I was like, it's so quiet on set. Like, it's just us.
So last week's episode was with Rimsha and Samin, and we had such a good time.
So much fun.
We went and got sushi after. It was
The
just
weather
such a
was so good.
Early, yappy, fun day. And we saw that you guys loved the episode, and we're so happy that you guys loved that episode. But what was my point in saying that?
It's lonely, it's quiet.
Yeah, it's lonely, it's quiet. We miss them. Sounds like a fucking, like, we're like outside their like apartments with the radio, like, come back.
Right? But we do want them to come back. And it was so much fun. And it was my first time interviewing anybody or like having anybody on the podcast.
And you went reporter vibes. I loved it.
Did. I went home and I was like, oh my God, I didn't ask them this. I didn't ask them their career goals. I didn't ask them this. Like,
all I was there to do was derail us. I was like, shut up. So, what's up?
And I was like, taking us back now to the day you were born.
You were like, I got to backtrack us out of the bananas, guys.
I didn't know where it was going to take us because there was no way we were going to circle back naturally. So I was like, hard cut. We have to go back. We had so much fun. Now we're back and we have another episode and we have another confession. So many of you guys are sending us so much information. And I feel like Gossip Girl. First of all, love you guys. Thank you. Second of all, I'm like, I know knowledge.
Should we also say that? Thank you guys. This has been so fun.
You guys are actually confessing things to us and telling us such juicy stories.
We don't tell anybody in our real life any of, we're not like, no. We just like, we see it and then we're like, so it's like HIPAA-ish. Yeah. Like, we're telling the story, but like, we're not telling anybody.
Two people have sent us a story and I'm like, our sources have been sending us messages. And according to my source, I know there's a boy out in these streets doing blah, 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 blah. But yeah, I genuinely feel like Gossip Girl. I'm like, wow, this is a lot of responsibility, but we love you guys for it. We take this very seriously.
Yeah, with great responsibility comes great wisdom, or the other way around.
You messed it up. It's with great power comes great responsibility.
Right.
She doesn't remember Spider-Man like that. Hey, our confession. There's a guy, he and I were in a serious relationship for years, and he got married to his cousin. I found out through his co-worker that he's married. He hid this from me for a whole year. He later ended up getting divorced, and we rekindled. He introduced me to his family, and I hung out with them every week. Things started getting weird again with him. He created a fuss out of everything. We broke up. He stopped contacting me for 6 months, then would call and be begging to see me. I just found out now he's married again to that same coworker that disclosed to me that he was married to his cousin and is on a second child. So another whole year and a half of lies. Mind you, he would be blowing up my phone. I had to involve my brother. This man has a dog, and I literally feel bad for his wife who's pregnant with his baby. He was married all along for the second time while contacting me again. So basically, she's in a thing with this guy. She finds out through a coworker that he's married to his cousin. Then he divorces said cousin, and then he's talking to her again. Then he gets married again to the coworker that told him about the cousin. He's still contacting her.
No. He marries the coworker?
Yes.
He marries the coworker?
Yes.
That came with the information?
Yes.
What a snaky bitch.
Yes.
What a
yes. And then he's, for both marriages, still reaching out to this girl.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
No, you gotta cut that off. Just in my heart of hearts, don't believe that they see men or men in general are that capable of multitasking. How is he juggling?
Dude, that's the thing. Juggling? How as a man do you have that much energy to juggle?
And time, and if you do, why aren't you doing something productive with it?
Yeah.
Wait.
And you're doing the same thing. You're reaching out to the same girl again. Why? What are you doing here? Man, and kids are involved. That's just too much.
You should sell this story.
Every confession that gets sent our way.
Off of it. Trademark it.
Actually.
Turn it into a book. Do something with it.
Sue him after you get the money. Now you're double rich.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Get pregnant, have his baby, get the child support forever. Obviously not.
Because his child support is going to suck. He's not going to pay it. He's going to find a way around it.
No,
and she's going to be richer than him.
Okay,
I know.
No, I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding.
No, because in some situations, good plan. But in other situations, I don't know.
Not this.
I saw actually, oh my gosh, who is that actress? Is it Uma Thurman? You know the girl from Stranger Things? Her parents.
Who?
The girl from Stranger Things.
Girl from Stranger Things.
Season 2.
Yes.
She worked at the ice cream shop.
Joey. Are you talking about Joey King?
No, Joey King wasn't even in Stranger Things.
Okay.
I'm talking about, I'll show you, Uma Thurman's daughter. So Uma Thurman, was with this guy. I don't remember his name. He cheats on her with who? Obviously, the nanny.
Ethan Hawke.
Okay, Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman were married for 7 years. He cheats on her with the nanny. He's still with the nanny. He's been with the nanny for 20 years. So it's been 20 years since he cheated, but he's still paying his ex-wife, even though he has been married longer with this new wife.
Hell yeah.
And she like engaged and then she broke off the engagement because if she gets married, she doesn't get the money.
Genius. He's still with the nanny?
And he's still with the nanny. Now he can't be with the nanny. If he leaves her and the nanny, now he's paying 2 families.
You think the nanny got the same prenup that Uma Thurman got?
No.
Obviously not.
And maybe now she will though, because she would have taken notes and been like, that's actually really smart.
True. It feels classic. Like who?
A classic tale.
A classic
tale of betrayal.
It's a Pixar film at this point. Like who? You know, like all the time.
Segue. I'm so sorry, but you said Pixar, and this just came to my mind.
What?
Do you remember when Pixar used to do bloopers for like Toy Story and Monsters Inc?
Yes. Dude, I love a blooper.
To this day, though, the Pixar bloopers, to this day, you can't convince me that they're not alive. I laugh.
You're right.
I laugh at the Pixar bloopers as if they're actual actors.
Exactly. You're like, shut up, Mike. That's how you felt at work that day?
Wow.
Like, dude, no, they're so
good. And I just feel like we've lost bloopers.
No, but you know what? We definitely are a blooper family.
I love
like,
bloopers.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even like we'll make reels and we'll be like, this is so fun because it's bloopers. When we did like a go away video for one of our friends when she was moving, Lizzie and I did a video and we like creative directed the fuck out of it. And we're like, we're gonna make it bloopers the end. So we did the beeps in between. It was so committed.
What's your go-to bloopers? Because I feel like mine used to be Pixar, but then for a really long time I kept watching Rush Hour bloopers, the best. And then I think I would say The Office bloopers always give me a good time. Every time I'm depressed, I watch The Office bloopers, go back and feel nostalgic and do the Pixar ones.
I actually don't watch bloopers just like on YouTube.
What do you mean? You've never like looked up bloopers?
No, like I'm sure I have at some point in my life, but like that sounds like such a good therapeutic thing to do, but I don't do that.
Especially for comedy movies and rom-coms, because you're like, there's no way you could, like Hangover.
No. I love the bloopers, but I don't know why it like never registered. Like, you know how bloopers, because in real life, bloopers felt so like such a treat. You know what I mean? Like you have to watch the whole movie and then you get to see the blooper. Yeah. But like it like literally never registered to me the technology. How I could just like look it up.
Oh my gosh, we'll do that tonight. It's so much fun.
I'm so down.
It's so much fun.
But if I had to like the bloopers I love Friends bloopers. Like I love Friends bloopers are nice. Yeah, I know this sounds basic, but
Fresh Prince also has really good bloopers. And it's actually crazy to think that they would have bloopers in front of a live audience.
Yeah.
Like you're messing up in front of a live audience and then you have to go back in there.
No, that's crazy.
We mess up in front of Luke and we're like,
and then we go home and edit the fuck out of it. I said that at 11:11. That's like, crazy.
To do that in front of an audience is insane.
Also, hot take.
What?
I've never been able to watch The Office.
Yeah.
And I consider myself a cinema connoisseur.
A comedy connoisseur because you prefer comedy.
Okay, yeah, but like I feel like I know about cinema and TV. Like I feel like I keep up with the shows and things. Yeah. Why are you saying it like that?
No, because you're saying I'm like in my mind, discredit.
You're doing like eyebrow raise. You're like, yeah.
No, because I'm not saying that The Office isn't cinema, but I'm like you're making it sound like you're missing out on like.
You know what I was trying to do? I was trying to combine film and television. What do I call it? Golden Globe. Like, what do I call that?
You could have just said TV shows.
You're really like hurting my feelings.
I'm so sorry. What do you mean? I'm not understanding what you're trying to say.
I'm saying I feel like we know a thing or two about film.
No, we do. We do.
That's what I'm trying to say.
You especially.
Thank you so much. But I mean us, our family, and I mean both of us combined. The point is, I feel like it makes me lose points that I don't like The Office.
Oh, no, it really, you know what? I used to think that.
Yeah.
But now, you know what it is? Because I was on The Office for years. It was my comfort show. And then I discovered Modern Family. And then that became my comfort show. In between, That's So Raven and Sister Sister were strong little fillers. In between that I watched from beginning to end. So good. And Fresh Prince. And then I circled to Modern Family. Now, going back to The Office is hard for me. And I don't know why. Maybe I've just done it so much. But it's kind of hard for me.
Do you think it's more fun for people that don't work? Like I work from home, so I don't have like an office job. But do you think it's less fun for people that are in offices?
Watch it? Maybe.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like I don't want to watch a show that's about work if I worked all day.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I work from my den. But still,
I never thought of it that way. Yeah, I never thought of it that way.
But every time I say that to someone, they're like, what? Like, no. And I'm like, okay. But Modern Family, agreed. Also, one of my repeats is Friends. Also, one of my repeats is Gossip Girl. Top repeats are probably Gossip Girl, Sex and the City. Gilmore Girls from when I was growing up. But dude, I'm really sad about this actually.
No.
My frontal lobe developed and I can't watch Gilmore Girls anymore.
I was going to say, you shouldn't feel bad. Not that it's the same, but I never got into Gilmore Girls and I never got into How I Met Your Mother.
How I Met Your Mother is good, but I feel like there was an era that I could watch it and I was like in college and like in my apartment for the first time and like cutting classes and like, you know, being a college student. I watched it during that phase and I don't know, something about it like really, really like, it just really hit a spot. You know what I mean? But yeah, after that, I couldn't watch it again.
Yeah, Abdus watches it all the time and I just can't get into it. I don't think it's funny. Yeah,
New Girl's really good. And I feel like New Girl, nobody loved it. You watched it at the time.
I watched it at the time. That was my like in college, I watched New Girl type show.
I'll repeat New Girls once a year too.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Muzi and I, dude, it's so funny. I don't know.
No, that's a good one. I just haven't gone back and rewatched it. Modern Family currently is my like fixation. But even that, like I feel like I've watched it so much. You know what? I feel like finally, speaking of cinema, finally, good movies are coming out again. I feel like it's been a really long time since I'm excited for new movies to come out. And 2 weeks ago, I went to watch Sinners. Don't even get me started on Sinners. I hadn't gone to the movies in so long that it felt like an event. Also, big requirement now for the movies. I refuse to go unless I'm reclined.
Dude.
I refuse. I'd made that mistake for Oppenheimer because everyone's like, you have to watch it on the screen and blah, blah. Don't give a shit. It ruined the whole movie experience. I'm sitting like this and I was so mad. Actually, this is way more comfortable. I felt like I was sitting on an airplane watching a movie.
Like a Spirit flight.
Literally.
Dude, I feel so bad because we did IMAX tickets for Sinner and we went with Rimsha and Musa and like a bunch of other people. But Rimsha is like super pregnant and we were in the IMAX theater. So I don't know why I thought that IMAX meant that you absolutely have reclining chairs. Like in my mind, dude,
that
like $20 a ticket.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I would have thought the same thing.
So I was like, oh, obviously it's reclining. So we get there and Rimsha is like out to here and she can't recline. And I was like, oh my God, like what is she gonna do?
What a
like
soldier.
And it's a long movie.
That's another thing. I feel like something that American Hollywood movies need to learn from Bollywood is intermission, because every Bollywood movie is like 2.5 hours something long and there's always an intermission. They pause the movie, you go pee, you get snacks, you come back. American movies now, it's like standard, they're 2 hours, which is fine if I'm reclined, but if I'm not reclined, it's a problem for everybody.
Yeah, you know what? I've heard a lot of people complain about movies being long or like too long for them. And if the movie's really interesting, I don't mind that it's long. Sometimes I crave like I don't want a 90-minute. I want to feel super invested.
Yes.
And I think that's because we grew up watching Bollywood. And so exactly, you're like locked in for 4 hours. So you're doing dinner, you're going to have some chai, you're going to take a break, you're going to continue it. And so it just feels like such an event. But a 90-minute movie for me is like with my coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
You know?
So when I went to go watch Sinners, I was like, this feels like an event, which is kind of a nice full circle, because I'm like, there was a period for a really long time where going to the movies was like, ugh, like after COVID, where I was like, yeah, why did I love to come here so much?
Really? What you're feeling right now, I felt that like soon after COVID stuff ended, because I was like, dude, this is so, or like Barbie time. Like, I was like, it's so fun to be like in a theater.
I felt that like right after COVID, like you're so excited, but then that went downhill again for me. Like it kind of dwindled and I was like, yeah, I'll just wait till it's out. But watching Sinners, I was like, finally, and all the previews for the new movies coming up, very excited for Lilo and Stitch. Finally,
oh my God,
Lilo and
live
Stitch
action. So good.
Stitch looks so cute.
Dude, Muzi and I always talk about how our dog Theo is literally Stitch, dude.
Yeah,
his personality, his attitude, his everything. And Muzi and I are like, we saw the trailer during Sinners and we're like, we have to bring him to the theater.
Aww. Do they have puppy theaters?
No, maybe like you could take him
idea
in a drive-in, but like what the fuck is he gonna do? But no, I'm not being serious, but like, yeah.
No, but I'm saying that's a good
when it comes out at home, I am gonna play it for him though.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
No, I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited for the new Jordan Peele movie.
Wait, what is it? I actually don't. Wow. Cinema connoisseur? Really?
No, you didn't see the trailer for that?
No.
I don't even remember the name, but it's something football related. Don't even like watching trailers in its entirety anymore because it gives away the whole movie.
I completely agree. And I've said that for a long time. I do not want to watch a trailer. Even for Sinner, I didn't watch a single trailer.
I went into it so blind.
Also, being the person that creates trailers for movies was like, I was like, if I could go back to college and pick anything to do for my life, dude, I think it's the coolest thing ever to pick the music and the parts of the movie that make, like, I just feel like that's so fun and creative, but not in like a graphic designer stressful way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I just want to see.
It's just like a
the pieces together and make
in
a
like
fun
a
little
really
video.
creative, fun way. And I just feel like that's like the coolest fucking
But we've
job.
lost the art of it because they give away the whole
No, they're way
movie.
too long.
And I am like, have movies always, like trailers always been this gory? Because I was watching a trailer for I Know What You Did Last Summer. We're doing like a remake with bringing in some of the old characters. But there's so much gore in the trailer. And I'm like, is this allowed? You're showing me way too much off the bat. And like, I can't handle gore the way I used to be able to handle gore. So I'm like, this is a lot actually.
Yeah, you said Sinners, spoiler alert. You said Sinners is gory. Well, I guess that's not a spoiler. But like it was, but like
it wasn't gory. I wouldn't say there's like mild blood. There's blood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's blood.
I don't know why I was thinking more like Saw, like where you watch them do the thing.
I used to watch that all the time.
We used to watch Saw at like 3 a.m. every night of the summer break for like a week. We would watch it straight.
While eating. Not a problem. No one's blinking. No one's throwing
third plate of blau.
Yeah.
Dude, those were the best nights
and
of
now
life.
Someone could get a cut on their arm and I'm like, I can't handle it. I'm like, this is too much violence for me.
It feels so good though to be like, thank God I didn't end up in medicine, because why I can't handle that.
That's a lot of gore. You know what? In person gore I can handle a little better, which is like weird to say. It's a weird thing to say in person. I can handle it because I don't know. It's not as creative in person. You know what I mean? In a film, it's like, and then they're gouging their eyes out, this and that. I'm like, dude, relax. Also now, even with movies,
can you
like
be a little demure.
Yeah, let's like calm down a little bit. But actually, I was watching with Rabia, because I think I've mentioned this before, but me and Rabia are like really big, and Usman, can't forget him, really big like horror movie connoisseurs.
Have a fucking conniption.
We love horror movies, and my brother, but
Hafsa does too, right?
Hafsa, she's like open. We're like, we force her.
That was so her.
We forcefully bring her into it.
Yeah.
Is it like her number one pick? No, but we make her and she doesn't fight it. Like I was watching Terrifier 1 with Rabia, and if anybody has watched Terrifier 1, there's a scene. I'm not going to give anything away. Actually, it doesn't matter. I could give it away. You're not going to watch it. But
yeah, but just say spoiler alert.
Okay, spoiler alert. There's this scene. This girl is in like a star formation tied up, right? And the crazy creepy clown is walking up to the girl. And I just start panicking. I'm like, he's going to saw her in half. Because she's upside down, and I'm like, he's gonna saw her in half. And Rabia from the vagina, the vagina. I was like, he's gonna saw her in half from the vagina. And Rabia looked at me like she was ready to disown me. She looked at me like I was gonna do it. She was like, "What are you like? Are you okay?" And what did he do? He did exactly that. Yeah. And then she looked at me even more concerned. She was like, "Podge." How did you predict
Okay, but you must have felt so satisfied. Like, fuck yeah.
I felt like an evil. Like I was like, yeah, I knew it. I was like, whoa.
You're like, you think this is my first fucking rodeo?
I'm like, what
I've been there, done
I
that.
Literally was like, what else would he have done? Why is she in formation like that? And I used to be so like, I wasn't sensitive to that.
Yeah.
And I could watch and be like, that's crazy. But like, I was good. Now, I can't even handle it. Now I'm like, who even directed this? I need to talk to your mother. My frontal lobe developed and everything's gone left. I'm like, wow, what problems are you putting out? Also, how do you sell the story? How, like, Human Centipede, how do you sell the story? You're like, hey guys, I have this movie.
Ass to ass. They're all gonna be stuck.
You think they're gonna escape. They don't. They poop into each other's mouths. How do you come up with that?
And somebody's like, yes, $1 million. Give us the money.
Yeah.
We have stories on stories. We have people that have stories to tell. What the fuck is this?
Yeah. And we have
wait, I have 2 horror movie or horror thing. Like, I just like have to spit it out. One is that when we went to go see, you had seen Sinner, and then you told me, and I had my FOMO was like up peak. Because the way she was just like, you Sana. And I was like, I have to go right now. So I like wasn't even telling Muzi. I was like tiptoeing around it because I was like, he's gonna watch it and then he's gonna tell me to wait. And I just like, I have to go. So me and Robs and Monsi go to the theaters, and it's a fucking it was a Friday or Saturday night, but it's a fucking Friday or Saturday night. And we go to the theaters at 9:15 and we just waltz in. We're like, guys, we're on time. Let's go. Let's get these tickets. It's a 9:15 show. We go to get the tickets. There are no seats available. And we look at each other and I'm like, not one time did it cross I was like, the parking, fuck yeah, snacks. I'm hydrated. Oh my God, like I'm like, you're so in your 30s at the theater. Look at you. And then we didn't buy tickets and it's not a single seat. So then we look at each other and I'm like, okay. We tried to we looked at other theaters. We did all the things, right? And then it wasn't gonna happen.
No.
So we're like, okay, we have to do this another day. So then Robs and Monsi are like, let's watch something else. Like, let's watch so they're looking at the options and it's like something like that. Like and then Murder 6-5, whatever, because they're basically like, okay, let's go watch it. And then I'm the only one in my entire fucking family, my friends, everybody.
Even your mom likes horror movies.
Fuck off. And like me and Amna's husband Abdus, we're like, absolutely not. And we stand our ground when we're together. We're like, absolutely not. But it was just me. And every time I'm singled out, it's really stressful because then I can feel everyone's energy and they're so annoyed. And I'm like, you guys, I'm really sorry. I can't do it. And Robs and Mansi are like, we're here. And I'm like, you guys watch the movie. I will go home. It's totally fine. Like I'll like have a nice little night. Like I swear to God, like please. And they were like, Mansi's like, okay, so you'll leave, but you won't watch them. And I'm like, I will not. I'm so sorry.
I put on The Conjuring one time for Abdus at home. The opening scene happened where it's like doo-doo and it says the word Conjuring and Abdus was like, turn it off. Like, we're done here.
I don't need this negative energy in my life.
I have to watch horror movies if Rabia and Osman are busy. I have to watch them by myself. And I'm like,
the fuck up. You always watch them by yourself. Dude, it'll be like a beautiful Saturday and it's like 75 degrees and the birds are chirping. Yeah. And I'll go past, and I've lived with both of them. So I'll walk past Amna or I'll walk past Rabia and they will have a candle. You'll have a candle. Rabia has clothes on the floor and their windows open. They're both watching like people getting murdered and dying and evil spirits and crazy shit. And I'm like, are you okay? And they're like, yeah.
When Abdus has plans at night and I know I have the night to myself, I literally am like, what can I watch? What can I watch? Something that it's like a blessing and a curse. Once I start a movie, it doesn't matter how bad it is, I won't stop. I'll have to finish it through.
That is so annoying.
I will not stop the movie. Rabia,
that's a really good habit.
Me and Rabia watched a movie.
But that's what you chose to be the thing that like I have to do from start to end.
That's the only thing I did was like from start to end, I have to do it. Everything else is like, One time me and Rabia watched a movie and the entire movie was shot like you're looking through a telescope.
Oh, you told me about this.
That's whole crazy. Movie. And we both sat and watched the whole movie. I don't know, dude. But like I draw the line at I can't sit up straight at the theaters.
10-minute type of person. If I get the ick from a movie in the first 10 minutes, I'm like, fuck no.
That's literally Abdus.
No, like I can't do it.
I'm like, give it a shot.
Especially when it's like cringy acting.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I refuse to spend the next hour of my life watching this shit. Dude, you know what
Abdus does? If the movie starts and it's not in English, he's like, change it.
I can't watch movies not in English either. It took a lot. Dude, it took a lot for me to watch Money Heist, and Money Heist is like an easy one. And I know I should. I know
the movies are so much better.
I feel like my title has been taken away from me and it's really upsetting. I have another horror thing, but like, no, we were going somewhere, right?
You were. And then you stopped. You said you're losing your title because
that.
Oh, we don't watch movies. You don't watch movies not in English.
Yeah, we don't watch movies not in English.
Not you.
No.
Let's clarify. I love movies not in English. Better movies most of the time, especially Korean movies.
Yeah.
Different level.
Yeah.
Also about the movies, I had told Sana, to anybody who's listening and who anyone has not seen Sinners yet or gone to the movies in a really long time, I forgot that movie theaters don't have subtitles. So when Sinners started, the first 10 minutes, I was like, bitch, you gotta lock in. And my ears took 5 minutes to like readjust to no subtitles. And in the movie, it's like 19.
Yeah, and they're talking fast and they're in the South.
They're in the South. They've got thick accents and they're kind of mumbling at certain points. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm not going to know what's going on in the movie. Eventually my ears adjusted, but I completely forgot that there's no subtitles.
No, same. And then when you had told me, so I was like super aware and locked in, but I'm like, guys, why do you make us choose between IMAX and subtitles and recline? Like this should be entertainment and enjoyable. Stop making me make a decision. Amna told me she had a moment like this too, but we're in the theater. My sister's on one side, my husband's on the other side. And I'm obviously watching where Michael B. Jordan's on the screen.
Yeah, he has like this really big
roles, which he has this really big what?
He has like a really big action scene.
Yeah.
He has a really big action scene.
So when it happens, I'm like locked in because I'm like, oh. And then I look over at Rob's and I'm like, say my whole little bit. And immediately when I look over at Rob's and start talking, Muzi's eyes he's like,
staring straight at you.
What'd you say? What was that? And then I look back normal and he's like, what'd you say?
Dude, Abdus after the movie ended was like, yeah, Amna, you were so focused on that one scene.
You were and like, I was one drool coming down.
Literally. And I was like, yeah. Even when people were asking me, like, Amna, is it really scary? I'm like, yeah, but Michael B. Jordan's in it. Like,
and he wouldn't. 2 people in it.
And yeah, but I'm like, I didn't know that going into it.
I didn't know that going in
And I was like, he wouldn't put me in a position to be in a movie that's scary. You know what I mean? Like, he's
and if
in
he
it.
did, I'd want to be
and
there.
I'd be okay with that. I'll go on this journey with him. It's fine. Love that movie. And then on a whim, because I'd never seen Accountant 1, like a week later, I went to the movies again, and I'm like, I'm on a roll. This is to me, this is like the summer.
I want to go to the movies with you.
Accountant 2 was
summer
so
of
good.
movies, also summer of concert.
Yes.
Also summer of, I'm really excited for summer outfits this year. Like normally I'm not excited for summer outfits because normally I like can't wear a lot of things in my closet, but now I feel like, oh my God, like I'm just like so fucking excited.
You've been on like such a serious health kick.
So now I'm like, I'm gonna wear all the things that I've been in my closet that I haven't been able to wear.
Also, it's just long overdue. Summer's taking way too long.
This year really enjoyed every season's like outfits, and I've really enjoyed it. I feel like it's been so much
I wish
fun.
I could enjoy spring.
Really
I thought that spring and I were best friends. It was my favorite like season for so long, and now I'm like sneezing every day. I'm
Dude,
like
you got Chicago
sinuses.
allergies,
Yeah, it's so
allergies.
annoying. Speaking of outfits though, we have to talk about the Met.
Okay, yeah, wait, before we get to the Met,
what?
I just want to say one more thing about the scary thing. You know how we're talking about like, okay, scary, blah, 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 blah. When I was in like middle school, yes, I was in middle school. I was in 7th grade and we had a teacher that was like, pick a genre, like whatever. And I have always been really into reading and writing. Like I was one of those kids. I loved reading. I loved writing. I did I did all that shit and I loved it. And so he was like, write a story and like pick a genre and make it like really descriptive. Like he had given this like prompt basically, but you had free reins to like pick a category. And I was like, I had just read 13 Reasons Why in middle school. And I was like, okay, my mind was feeling creative and like a story about a kid in high school, but like kind of Final Destination-y vibes.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, this will be really good. And I got really excited about it. And so I can't watch it. And now I'm giving you, because this season of You, if you're watching, he like is writing out,
like, okay.
no, the show You, he's like writing out his like fucking shit, like all his like feelings, but not in that way. Okay.
Yeah, you
But
didn't want to do it. Your character was going to do it. That's exactly what he did.
Right, I know, literally. He like wrote out the story and I'm like, wow, this is like, I had so much fun with it and it was very descriptive and it was like this whole story about this girl. And so I like submit it. I'm so fucking proud of myself. And then my teacher the next day is like, we have a reading hour. He calls me up. Amna, wallahi, I was walking up to the desk thinking, dude, he loves my paper. He loves my paper.
He's going to want to turn it into a movie. He's like my big fat liar.
Be like,
he's going to steal it.
We need to talk about your future. Like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like so excited. I'm like, oh my God. So I start walking up to the desk and he looks at me and he's like, is everything okay? No. And I'm like, yeah. What do you mean? Yeah. And he was like, okay, no, because like, this is like,
he reads an expert. He's like, and then he stabbed his eyeballs out and he twisted the knife.
And I'm like 13, like watching like rom-coms all day, like literally. And I'm like, yeah.
With your fluffy pen.
Dude, yes, like that's who I am. I'm like literally watching Lizzie McGuire, eating my dal chawal. Like I don't even consume anything like that. And so I'm like, oh my God. And now I'm like so embarrassed because I'm like, but not because my story is bad, but I'm just like, how embarrassing he doesn't understand the vision. That's
he
art.
Doesn't get it.
He doesn't get it. That's art.
It's not his genre. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Moving on.
No, I want to ask you.
What?
If you could be in a genre of any kind of movie, what kind of movie would you be in?
I'd want to be the main character in like a rom-com girly type movie. Like I want to like do the runway thing and wear the 6 outfits and like
Cute.
do that. I want to have, oh my God, Amna, it would be my dream to be like Princess Diaries type movie. Like the montage of like the glow, like when every time there's like the Vogue song in the background and they're doing the montage of like the glow
Devil Wears
up or
Prada.
that. Like do that. Oh my God.
Okay, but here's my thing about rom-coms. Because genuinely, you cannot convince me that you can do a rom-com. Can do a rom-com and not fall in love.
Oh no, I agree. But like that, like I know that Devil Wears Prada and Me, like I know that all of these aren't rom-coms, but in my mind they're like that.
Oh, so you're saying not a love story, but you want to be in like a girly pop movie.
But I don't mind a love story if I'm the one coming out on top.
Well, yeah. But I'm like, saying like if you right now in life would
like I
do a
want
rom-com,
it to be a love story within the storyline, but I want it to be a light girly pop, bright, saturated New York City wake up life. That type of movie.
Oh, that's so cute.
Wow,
I
yours?
love that.
I'm so scared.
No, because I was thinking I would love a rom-com, but I just feel like if in like, not that anyone's calling me, but if I was in a rom-com, just know that my marriage is having problems because I don't think I can handle.
I'm saying different life, not today.
I'm saying that like even actual actors and actresses, I'm like, I don't know how I could handle Jason Momoa looking me dead in my eyes, being like, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life, writing me a love letter where like I'm in like a princess gown or some shit. And then I go home and I'm just like farts. I'd be like, wow.
Dude. Or just having to like turn on and off like that.
I would pull a Blake Lively every time. I'd fall in love every time.
You're this close.
Yeah. Like they'd say cut and I'd be like, guys, also, you're interrupting.
I think that all the time. I'm like, how are you? Like, I understand that you're both artists. Like I get it. But like that you both go into work and then have to come like how do you figure that? I can barely figure out a normal marriage.
I can't even
how do you figure that out?
I'd be in a movie.
Yeah.
I would love to be a superhero.
I love
because I just, or it doesn't even have to be like I'm the superhero, but like even like Avatar,
I could see
like
that.
green screen where I want to like be in like a leotard. I mean, that's my nightmare, but like to be in a leotard next to Jason Momoa, please, in my like Laura Oxley outfit. Yeah. Or even Little Mermaid. Like I would want to be in something that has to do with the green screen. And then for the first time in theaters, watch myself like fly to space and jump in the ocean and be like, whoa. I feel like that would be so cool to see yourself in that type of environment.
That is so our zodiac sign coded.
Yeah, that's like cute. And then we'll have an overlap.
Yeah, and then you can come to my premiere and I'll come to your premiere.
Thinking like movie universe. I'm like, when like Sweet Life and they would like combine shows, That's So Raven. I was thinking like that, but you're right, that's cute too.
I love our fake lives.
I know. I live in them all the time, exclusively. The Met.
Okay.
How do we feel about this year's Met?
Okay, loved the theme. And I thought people did a good job. Like some people did a good job with the theme, but there was a lot of room for better outfits.
Yeah.
And I feel like people didn't, like some of the AI looks were like so good that I was like,
loved the AI look.
Why didn't anybody do that? I don't know. I expected more exaggerated suit wear.
I saw Janelle Monáe. I was like, finally you're giving something.
Either people really hit the mark or really fucking lost the plot.
Went like the Hailey Bieber route.
Dude, what the fuck?
I didn't love that.
Obviously.
I was like, I wore that for this podcast photo shoot.
To me, it was like,
you're not even
got invited and you're being disrespectful. You didn't even try. Like, you literally didn't even try. There was more Desi representation, which is like for our generation, especially, I feel like you're like, holy fuck. Like, it's like watching my two worlds collide in real life. And you're like, what the fuck is Shah Rukh Khan doing next to Zendaya? What's happening?
Watching Shah Rukh Khan in line with Zendaya was a visual I never in my life thought I would see. Dude, that was actually my two worlds combining. I was like, what?
Yes.
And they're in line. Also, another thing, they're in line and I'm like, it's giving
Okay,
classroom.
So we were watching it live, which like usually I'm like on like the online part, but this time we like actually sat and we like watched it all live and stuff. All the artists and like everybody that's attending the Met is literally lined up like waiting to go on the red carpet. Yeah, in a queue one by one. And for some reason, I don't know, it's obviously a lot more glamorous when you don't see the behind the scenes. But I'm like, please show us more. Show us all the fucking crash outs. Show us all of that. Like that would be a good reality TV show.
Did you see how Megan Thee Stallion, because they're not allowed their cell phones technically inside, and Megan Thee Stallion was like recording all the food that was in there. I was like, wow, finally someone's showing us exactly what we
like. They always get like the one bathroom selfie.
Yeah.
So then Shah Rukh Khan and like.
Okay, did you like his outfit?
No, I didn't. I love him. No disrespect to him. I'm obsessed with him. Like I used to have like posters of him on my wall of him. Love him. And I feel bad because when they interviewed him, he was like, guys, Sabyasachi like dragged me here. He was like, you have to do this. Like, I feel like he was sweet about it, but I really wish his look was
I feel like
better.
He was right there, but it could have been a little more. It could have been a lot more.
I think it was like 37% off.
Yeah, like he didn't have to go all out. He didn't have to make it super like abstract. But I just feel like his pain, if it was matte black, I feel like he could have really given more.
He could have leaned into one direction and it felt like it wasn't styled well.
Even Diljit loved his outfit. I thought it was great, crisp, clean, bedazzled.
It fit him beautifully. I liked that there was a story. I liked that there was a story behind what he did.
Exactly.
It makes sense. Even for Shah Rukh Khan, if there was a story behind his look, I feel like I'd be like, okay, like I get where you guys were going with it, but that it was, I don't know. It felt just like it didn't make sense.
Something was missing.
I'm waiting for the AI version to be like,
honestly,
that is spot on.
No disrespect to Sabyasachi.
No,
I'm
but
just
I was
saying
gonna
that
say,
like,
I
it could have been
like
a little bit more.
It's probably also hard when the person that's gonna wear it is like, I need this to make sense for me, and then you're like a designer or a stylist and you're like, okay, but like for this look to work, I need it to be this.
Yeah.
Like that's gotta be so hard. Because like your work is gonna be on the Met.
They should do, I don't know if they have one, but they should do like a reality show or something like behind the scenes of how the designer comes up with that idea. And
they do like clips of it.
I know they do that
like,
with certain celebrities, but I really want to see that.
The whole world is pretty like veiled.
I didn't know this, but they do like all the makeup artist team and stuff like that. They have their own dinner that night, like that they've done for all celebrities. I'm like, that's so nice.
Know that. That's so sweet.
Okay, two things. One, I feel like the whole internet, rightfully so, is in an uproar because Wisdom Kaye wasn't invited to the Met Gala, and it still bothers me. It's still bothering me. How can you have a theme that's Black dandyism and not have Wisdom Kaye? He's exactly that. Yeah. I'm still waiting for his what I would have worn to the Met Gala video.
He's gonna do it?
I hope so. I hope so.
Somebody was saying, I saw a TikTok where somebody was like, when you stand up too proudly for things that are right, that you face the consequences of like being excluded from rooms that you not only deserve, but you like would really carry.
Yeah. Man.
And like Wisdom Kaye, does the AI look better than AI could create
actually, though?
Yeah. Like actually.
I feel like prior to Wisdom Kaye, I used to, in my mind, be like, I could totally be like a little fashionista fashion girl on whatever. Wisdom Kaye came and I'm like, we shouldn't even try. Dude, like, what are you talking about? This man is just everything.
Somebody did a video on him and was like, do you guys understand that like Wisdom Kaye wasn't invited to the Met and he was asked by Bentley to be in an ad with them? They were like, this man was flown out by Bentley to just stand next to the cars. And I was like, that's crazy.
Circling back to the Shah Rukh Khan thing, how do you feel about the interview?
I feel like the interviews and like I think it was fine, but I feel like the interviewers definitely didn't know who he was, and like I feel like they should have known who they were interviewing. But when Sabyasachi was trying to be like, he's like the most famous man in the world, I felt bad because I'm like, okay, this man is like, I'm being so fucking for real. He's like 5'4" or something. You know what I mean?
Is he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's like 5'4", 5'5".
Are you talking about Shah Rukh Khan or Sabyasachi?
Shah Rukh Khan.
Oh. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. In my mind, I never realized what his height would be.
Yeah, so I'm just like imagining these people are probably like, who the fuck? But then I was telling Muzi because we were talking about this and I'm like, but to be fair, there are like K-pop massive stars, dude, that I truly only know a couple of them because of White Lotus or like a show or like seeing them all over social media. And like, so I love them, but like, I don't know a lot of people in that world, and the entire world knows a lot of other international stars.
So that was my thing. I went back and I watched the video again because we watched it live and we were so caught up in like, what's he wearing?
No, I did think it when I was watching it.
So then even when we were watching it though, like, yeah, the flow maybe of the conversation wasn't there. But when I watched it again, I kind of disagree because I'm like, okay, he comes, they pronounce his name correctly.
That is true. I thought you're right because we talked about that when it happened.
Yeah, we were like, wow, they pronounced his name
so
perfectly.
Nice that they did that, yeah.
And the first question they asked him is, how does it feel making history being the first male Bollywood actor at the Met? And then he was like, oh, I'm a little nervous. I'm a little shy. My kids are excited to be here. Then Sabyasachi's like, this guy is like the most famous guy in the world.
Yeah.
So I'm almost like, what else were they supposed to say?
No, you're right.
You know, what else were they supposed to? That. And then, you know, also the other thing is, I don't think it's a coincidence that the theme is inspired by Black dandyism. And it's the first year that there's this many Desi people at the Met. You know what I mean? Because would he have received that opportunity in any other? Has he ever been invited before? And he just said no.
I was wondering that too.
Totally. I'm a huge Shah Rukh Khan fan. If I saw him, I'd throw up and pass out. But I agree with you exactly that, where there are actual other international superstars that I don't know they exist. I also was thinking that, like, you know what? There's also like a bigger conversation to be said about how many Bollywood actors are not integrated in Hollywood movies the way like Amitabh Bachchan was in Great Gatsby.
Great
Gatsby.
Amitabh Bachchan wasn't in Great Gatsby.
Yes, he was in Great Gatsby.
It's a different actor.
No, I'm gonna look it up right now.
Okay, also while Amna's looking that up, I want to know if any of you guys watching have watched the old school show Roswell. And
my God, Roswell!
Then we'll talk about it at some point because, dude, but not. There's like a remake of it on the CW or somewhere right now. I mean, like the old version. Oh my God.
Oh my God. But the ending sucked, at least to me. But I forgot what the ending was, and I watched it again, and I was like, oh my God. But yeah, dude, he was in Great Gatsby.
Amitabh Bachchan?
Yeah, he didn't have that big of a role, but it was like early in the movie. That? And I remember being like, oh my God, that's so cool. He's in the movie. Again. So I just feel like
this whole episode has just been about humbling me that I don't know fucking shit about shit.
And it started with, guys, I'm a cinema connoisseur. No, but you are. Don't take that title video.
It should be like me saying I'm the cinema connoisseur and then you telling me things and me being like, what?
There will be a trailer for this episode. Sana's going to put it together. No, because that was your dream job.
It was. Oh my God. That is such a good way to get a man to do what you want him to do.
Remember that was your dream job? Yeah, take out the trash. Remember when you were a little boy and you loved garbage trucks? If Shah Rukh Khan is a global superstar, obviously, but he's not globally in movies. You know what I mean? Like he's not in.
Also, we're at the Met. We're not at like the Cannes Festival.
Yeah, and you know, I just feel like the anger is a little misdirected. Personally,
is it? I'm not angry.
No, not you. But I'm saying like I've been seeing a lot of backlash on TikTok.
No, like relax, dude. Also, you know what? I'm so sick and tired of everything becoming backlash. Everybody slow down a little bit. Slow down. Everything is not that deep. Okay? Yeah. Calm down. Touch grass. Everything doesn't have to require so much backlash. Yeah. You could also just be like,
it's nice that he's there. That's great.
His or like you could talk to your friends about it.
Yeah.
And not be so angry.
And not take it too far either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't get ugly with it or like so aggressive and you know.
Sometimes I feel like people probably think that about us on
probably actually me all the time.
But I feel like people go so far sometimes with the like how quickly they're angry at someone on the internet that I feel like if I was a celebrity, take this with a grain of salt, because if I was a celebrity, I would be at everything. But if I was a celebrity, I'd be a little like, dude, I'd be bitter and annoyed as fuck. Any opportunity to be like angry about something is like just calm down.
You know, I was watching an interview of Phineas, Billie Eilish's brother, and they were asking him like, how do you deal with like hate comments and this and that? And he was like, I'm the most oblivious guy. He's like, twice a year I'll have a friend message me out of the blue and be like, what they're saying about you is not true. And he's like, what are they saying? But it's funny because he's like chronically online and always commenting on other people's stuff. That's the dream, right? That's the way you should go about it. Yeah, because people get mad at people would get mad at something that I've said on the podcast. But when I'm saying but you guys, I swear to God, when I'm saying it, I don't think it's that crazy.
No, it's like, it'll be like, not like a hot take.
It's not even like something that I thought about. It just like rolled out of my mouth. It's like when we go off topic and they're like,
imbeciles, you don't have any education, you dumb, like on and on and on. And it's like, relax.
And I'm like, whoa, guys, I thought we'd all be like, haha, yeah. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then you know what the one we get the most is like podcast equipment needs to be so much more, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, I think that's funny. I'm sorry. I didn't know that you guys were having so much fun listening to the Brown Boys with podcasts saying they need 6 wives and we need to be better women and shut up. My bad for interrupting. Go back to them.
Like, loved Andrew Tate. Like,
dude.
Couldn't stay there.
Anytime like there's an influx of men in here.
Like it feels like when you go to the side of the gym you're not supposed to be on. Like, why are you coming to my comments?
That's exactly what it feels like.
You can sense the entire vibe of this is for the girls. Don't get involved. Like, this is about you.
This is for the girls to get.
And even if we're talking about you guys cheating, like you did. I mean, it's just not for you to listen to.
Yeah.
Except for Luke and like my brother and your brother.
Yeah. But it's exactly like that where it's like you walk into the wrong side of the gym or something. It's like walking into the boys' locker room and you're like, ooh.
Or forget that. Let's be even a step further when you're walking into like the men's side of the masjid on accident. And you're like, whoa. I'm going to hell. Like you feel like you're naked. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah. You're like, you know what? My fault. Let me jump off a cliff now. I'm so sorry. I don't want to be here
for getting in your way.
Yeah. Like my bad.
Ooh, duh. My period. I'm getting my period. I'm sure there's a ton of support available online in all the places. Okay, I know that. But I'm just saying, I feel like nobody's periods are the fucking same. And it's like, I feel like you try to get answers and you're always looping around in some circles. And for somebody, their period is normal. But for you, that's like a fucked up period. And like somebody doesn't get their period for 3 months. And they're like, but that happens to me all the time. And that, like, you just like never know what's normal. All of our periods are fucked. Okay. But can you tell I'm like in a rage? I've been crying all week and I'm getting my period soon and I know it's coming and like it's like I'm like 48 hours-ish away, not based on the date, based on like my my rage and my like levels right now. But like when I was younger, my period has had its own mood swings, dude, and like phases of growth or whatever. Because like when I was younger, my period was like physical pain and I was like, oh, like I can't get out of bed or like it hurts to ride my bike, like that. And then it became like just I don't know what the fuck. Oh, I'm going on a bachelorette trip and we have to wear tampons now to go in the pool. Like it kind of became like that. And now I'm a fucking adult and married and my periods, and maybe it's being married to a man, but I know that there are other women in their 30s that are going through this that like, cause I've talked to people in my DMs about it, that post 30, when I turned like 31, my period rage became like insane, dude, or how emotional I get.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's like, uncontrollable. And I'm like, you have got to calm down. But I physically can't.
There's no stopping it. Yes! Once it starts, there's no stopping it. Sometimes I feel like once your frontal lobe develops and then the rage hits harder. That's what I think. Yeah, I think your frontal lobe develops, You
My
get into your
patience
30s,
gets a little thinner.
The patience is thinner. 90% of what's pissing me off, even when I'm not on my period, even though my reaction isn't as intense, I'm like, yeah, but that like pissed me off. Like,
no,
that
agreed.
is, like,
that
super
makes
annoying.
sense. But like when it's for the days before my period, I'm just like spiraling. And I'm like, you have got to calm down.
I feel like you get into a rage. I get into like sadness.
You're like cozy sad. I'm like, I have to get everything done.
I get into a sadness. And sometimes it makes me so happy, dude. I have this thing where like I love a good sad car ride. And it's raining.
No, I agree. I love a good sad car ride, and I love a good wallow day.
Yeah.
I just want to eat my ice cream. Then I want to have some chips. I want to watch 4 rom-coms. I want to cry.
I watch something that I know is going to make me cry. It used to be a lot harder because I had to pick a film. Now I'm on TikTok and I'm on like Hopecore and I'm like, the dog.
It's
and
like
the
2
baby.
cows like running together in a field.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're so
or like
happy.
they saved a puppy and I'm like,
no, literally.
you know, or oh my God, the reuniting of like my dad hasn't seen his dad in 30 some years and you're like, oh my God. Yeah, dude, get me every time. Don't even need my period for that.
No, anything animal related, yeah, I'll be like
me.
And then I'm like, and they're real. Today I saw the one about that dog that like does math. Have you seen that?
No.
one? Dude, there's this dog and he like communicates with his like mom and dad.
Does he press the buttons?
Not that one too, but there's like another, that's a different one. But when they do that, I literally go into a spiral and I'm like, do you think they're sad that they can't communicate with us? You think they're sad?
Okay, but
because they
that
don't
dog that does
talk?
press the button, he started getting really self-aware and like the things he was
Yeah.
saying were kind of freaky and I never followed up on it.
I know, because it made me too sad.
Yeah,
I was like,
oh my
no, what's gonna happen to him when he realizes? Like, I don't know. It's just too much for me.
Yeah, and let's not do it. You're on your
yeah.
You're
Like I'm
here,
literally
let's
about to
calm
start
down.
crying. Okay.
Okay, or can I be a bitch? Mine's really
one.
not that serious. And it's just my opinion. I'm just not a big fan of the butter yellow nails.
Oh yeah.
Because it kind of
told me
looks
that.
like when you do white nails and you eat like solid. And it's a little stained. But I just don't think on me I would love the yellow.
Yeah.
I'm just not a yellow nail polish girl.
Okay, I love the butter yellow for summer. I love following a summer color trend. Like I think that's really fun to have like a color. Like last year it was like baby blue. This year I'm excited for like red or like
I think this year is butter yellow. Yep.
But yeah, so I like that it's the summer color. It gives me like a palette. But I because you said it, I was like, I trust her and I'm not doing it on the nails.
No, maybe it'll work when you do it. And I'm probably going to change my mind. But when I see it on you, okay, what's yours?
Returns should be a lot easier. Like
100%.
I know that they're not hard, but I really feel like it has got to be more. I will pay for a service if you will come take all my returns. I will literally give you my fucking email, figure out what goes where, take it there, return it for me, and the money just come back into my account. Dude, it is my
Like a reverse
quality.
Uber situation.
Dude, literally come pick it up and take it for me.
That's a good service.
That's a service I would pay for. And I swear to God, if they came once a month and took all my fucking returns and I paid them, I'm like hoping it's $10, but probably would be like with the fucking
Inflation of it all.
inflation these days.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm like, please, like somebody do it because I never get all my returns done, dude. I have to go. FedEx closes at this time, and then UPS closes at that time, and this one needs a form, and that one needs a code, and this one's date is this day, and
thing.
and I'm like,
The
dude,
form.
I can't.
The freaking paper that you have to print out, and then you're asking me to pay $2 because I have to tape it.
Archaic. Figure out a more efficient system. Everything that people need the most, which is like fucking airports, hospitals, like a lot of the things that they have. I'm like, why schools? Why are things so archaic?
Hey guys, this
Thanks
was
so
a
much,
way
guys.
more chill episode, way
was
more
a-
lax.
yeah.
It feels like, you know, when you
was
have all your
chit-chatty.
cousins over and then your cousins leave and like you're like, okay, the house is kind of
This is what we actually talk about.
Yeah, we're just chill today. This is like a much more laxed episode. Thank you guys for listening. We love you guys.
listening.
Oh, so sorry. Luke is like, I'm not that way. Thank you guys so much for listening. We love all the comments you send us. We love all the confessions you guys send us. We are so happy that we're building like a little girl club and we're all sharing
love it.
secrets, and trust, we'll share our own in the DMs. We're like, oh yeah, and one time with me,
Yeah, and we're sharing them here too, but we're like
yeah, we have
sprinkling.
so much fun in our DMs. It's so fun. Like I said, this is for the girls, the gays, and days, and the select few boys that are vetted and they're allowed to be in here. Keep the confessions coming. Like, subscribe, follow our TikTok, follow our Instagram. And we hope to see you guys soon. But also, real quick, taking kind of a left turn, but we have to because we are Pakistani. And with everything that's going on between Pakistan and India, we just want to, and Kashmir, we just want to say that our hearts are with all the victims that were affected in the most recent attack. And we're so heartbroken over it. And it's so scary. And with everything we've been watching that's been going on in Palestine, Like you always think like, oh, it's not going to be you. You know what I mean? But it's such a slippery slope, and it really could be.
And our nani is in Pakistan.
And our nani is in Pakistan, and our loved ones are there, and our families are there, and Pakistan and India are so close together.
And all of our friends' loved ones are there. And I have family in India too.
Exactly. We have family in India. We have family in Pakistan. And so the fact that there's so much tension and that they're going to war with each other is very scary. Sending out all our thoughts, prayers, our love, hoping that this whole situation gets resolved, that everybody's safe.
Yeah, dude.
We are way too close in proximity.
Too much shit going on in the world.
Way too much going on in the world.
You know what? They do all this shit for their egos, and then the people that are there are the ones.
Actually, the people that are there that don't have the option to pick up and leave to any kind of safety.
Yeah.
And also, the other sad thing is, on both ends, both sides have gone through so many revolutions and wars, and have gone through enough.
And
that,
poor
like,
Kashmir.
And
it alone.
They've been at the center of all of it for such a long time. So just really heartbroken over everything that's going on, but sending all our love, hoping that it doesn't escalate any further. And we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Watching.
Bye, guys.